In Russia's Republic of Yakutia, a bus carrying workers returning from a coal mine overturned into a ravine, resulting in the deaths of 13 people and injuries to at least 20 others. The incident was caused by the driver losing control of the vehicle. A criminal case has been opened in connection with the accident. It is reported that the coal mine where the workers were employed is part of the Kolmar company, which is headed by Russia's Energy Minister Sergey Sivilov. A mourning period has been declared in the Republic of Yakutia following the incident.
Доброе.
Доброе. Хочешь посмотреть?
Сейчас пойдет.
Пойди.
Палец убирай.
И все. Сейчас пропало.
Это оборвал провод.
The occupiers continue to hide in the pipes of the Seversky-Donetsk-Donbass Canal near Kramatorsk, even after repeated cases of destruction of units that chose this object as a shelter or crossing. On July the 16th, UAVs of the 5th Separate Assault Kyiv Brigade overtook and destroyed a group of Russian soldiers. Videos of at least 4 strikes on enemy units' shelters were published on the 5th Separate Assault Brigade's Telegram channel. "Don't hide, we'll find you anyway," the brigade emphasized. The situation was commented on July the 17th by the head of the Center for the Study of the Occupation, Petr Andriushchenko. He recalled that it was through this pipeline that water was supplied to occupied Donetsk and its suburbs. This is about why there is no water in Donetsk. Propaganda is lying, but in fact, it was the Russian army that destroyed the water supply system. Russian cannon fodder is now hiding in the pipes. Andriushchenko wrote on his Telegram channel. Let us recall that on July the 8th, media revealed details of Operation Pipe, during which Russian troops tried to penetrate Sudza. As it turned out, the occupiers walked along a pipe in which methane remained and there was not enough oxygen. They lost consciousness. The soldiers' legs failed, hallucinations and vomiting were observed. As one of the participants in the operation from the 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment said, preparations for the breakthrough through the gas pipeline lasted about 5 months. The entire process was accompanied by deep secrecy. The tunnels were made manually. The exit from the pipe was cut out in silence, trying not to show any signs of life on the surface. The occupiers did not go outside for weeks, so as not to be noticed by the Ukrainian Armed Forces intelligence. However, this heroic underground penetration quickly turned into a nightmare. The pipe through which the military was moving turned out to be saturated with methane residue. Due to the lack of oxygen, the Russian military began to suffer severe attacks of suffocation and hallucinations. They lost consciousness several times. Some vomited and coughed up blood. One of them lost his leg. He just crawled. He couldn't walk. He wanted to live, so he crawled, said one of the survivors. People fell asleep on the move from hypoxia. Some started bleeding. Others went into hysterics. Some, in despair, shot themselves in the forehead. Several eyewitnesses reported. There are a lot of guys like that. The Telegram channel of Russian opposition blogger Maxim Mirovich published the appearance of Russian President Vladimir Putin in public and noted that, judging by the video, the head of the Kremlin is afraid of everyone. Previously, he was accompanied by crowds of FSB officers dressed as enthusiastic people. Now there are no such conventions. There are only hundreds of people in black swarming around the main pile. The insanity has grown so strong that along the route of the high visit, they check lampposts and weld up hatches. The fact that Putin is taking such harsh and extreme measures against anyone who even mutters a tiny bit of opposition tells you that he's scared. Recall Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine has ignited the largest war in Europe since the Second World War, indiscriminately spilling the blood of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers and innocent civilians. Russian President Vladimir Putin wants you to believe that NATO is to blame. If Putin and his senior advisors believed that their propaganda campaign had been effective and that most of the population had bought into their lies about the war, then perhaps they would have been prepared to take the risk. The casualties could be attributed to the real war that is being waged against our country, as the Russian president insisted. But Putin's actions show that he knows that this is not true, that the country is now prepared to send its sons, brothers and husbands to die in ever greater numbers in this war, and that the domestic politics of the conflict are complicated. Multiple Russians were arrested for holding up blank pieces of paper in the early days of Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, after thousands more had been jailed for openly protesting Russia's aggression. Perhaps Putin is feeling more insecure and becoming more tyrannical toward the Russian people, toward visitors, and even toward those who have left the country. What started as an authoritarian leader who was eroding democratic norms looks to be morphing into a totalitarian dictator of the most dangerous kind, the frightened kind,